Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. So we are going to present a method and the procedure of risk identification. So for the table of content, we have 5 topics. The first one is what is risk identification. Second, risk identification process. Third, risk identification tool such as SWOT analysis. Fourth, risk identification method, and the last one is a summary. So our group consists by 5 members. The first one is ATHIRAH, AINI, AMANINA, Zhafri, and HAAFIZH. So for the first one is what is risk identification. Risk identification is the process of documenting any risk that could keep an organization or program from reaching its objective. It's the initial phase of the risk management process, which aims to assist business in identifying and anticipating any hazard. Risk can include things like theft, downturn in the economy, mishap, legal action, or security breach. So we continue. When you identify risk, look for events that may prevent a project from achieving its goal. The risk origin can be the project itself or external sources. There are several situations for which you might need to identify risk, including the first one is to support an investment decision, to assess cost uncertainty or operational cost, to analyze multiply alternative, and the last one to test a program before its acquisition.
My name is NURUL AMANINA and I will continue to present about the procedure and process of identifying office management of the construction industry. There are a few processes that we need to do to make sure all the identifying process will resulting the best outcome. The first one is analysis of the procedure. It will be facilitate identifications of the operational risk. It will include all the process related to the construction process. The next one is brainstorming. It can be done by a group of employees put forward their idea or sensations of the risk. The other procedure followed by the interview. A specialist in building risk prepare the interview with the various management levels member of the company in order to allocate their concern. The next one is the implementations of the workshop. It's also play a critical step in order to identifications of the procedure. It can be done by meeting a group of the employees in comfortable atmosphere in order to identify the risk and assess their possible impact on the company. Next, comparison with another organization. Benchmarking is the technique used for comparing one's own organization with the competitors. The last one will be the questionnaire. It will be focused on detecting the concerns of the staff with respect to the risks or threats that they perceive in their operating environment. That's all from me. I will pass to another presenter.
Next, we continue to the risk identification tool based on the SWOT analysis. So for the introduction, SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool used to identify and understand strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat relate to a project, organization, or business venture. Strength and weakness are generally relate to issues that are internal to the organization. Besides, opportunities and threats are usually external to the organization. So when combined with brainstorming approach, SWOT analysis, also known as internal-external analysis, and also can be used to identify and record potential risks. Alright, we continue to the SWOT analysis. For the strength identify internal positive attributes that are within our control, such as example include skilled workforce, strong brand reputation, advanced technology, or efficient process. Next, for the opportunities focus on external factors that could provide opportunities for growth or improvement. They consider market trend, competitor weakness, technological advancement, or new partnership. Next, for the weakness. Weakness pinpoint internal factors that may hinder progress or success. This could be lack of resource, outdated technology, poor management, or inadequate training. For the threat external factor that could pose risk or threat to the project or organization. Threat might be include economic downtowns, regulatory change, emerging competitors, or shift in consumer behavior.
Moving forward to the risk analysis method. There are 5 methods, which is Zhafri technique, bow tie analysis, swift analysis, probability or consequence analysis, and the last one is decision tree analysis. The Zhafri technique is a risk analysis method similar to brainstorming, but the difference is the Zhafri technique relies heavily on the use of expert opinions throughout the process. These opinions make it possible to evaluate, identify, and analyze risks individually. From there, each expert reviews the other risks to create a risk register which can include all potential risks and consequences. The bow tie analysis is one of the most practical approaches to risk management. It helps teams understand the risks and consequences of the risks reasonably, which makes coming up with a risk mitigation strategy a lot simpler. The process is quite straightforward. First, the team identifies various risk events to a project or to the organization. Then, the team divides each individual risk event into 2 sides. On one side, all the possible causes for the risk event taking place are listed. On the other side, all the possible consequences and impacts of the risk are listed. Then, the risk professionals then analyze and create barriers or other mitigation methods to every cause of risk to prevent the consequence of the risk. The SWIFT analysis stands for Structured What-If Technique. This analysis method is used to understand the consequence and viability of all risks in projects based on different changes made to any aspect of a project. The risk analysis and project team evaluate all the changes made to the project based on the changes made in the project's design or plan and use them to identify different opportunity risks to the project. This is the most widely used method of understanding the impact and severity of any risk. The probability and consequence matrix is created to help teams rank the identified threats, vulnerabilities, and risks. This is done to identify how severe a risk could be if materialized. The severity of risks is calculated by multiplying the level of impact of the risk against the likelihood or probability of the risk taking place. By identifying and calculating the different factors of risk in the probability and consequence metric, it is also becomes easier for risk analysts and professionals to work with teams and come up with various risk avoidance and mitigation strategies for risk management. The decision tree analysis is used to create various outcomes or consequences of an action. This risk analysis method is widely used because project teams can be prepared for any and all possible outcomes and create strategies to ensure that they can achieve the best one. The decision tree analysis is used to chart or create a pathway for teams to follow to avoid risk and follow the best course of action for their project. A decision tree analysis is mainly used when project teams do not know or are uncertain of the final outcome. This way, they can gauge the different possibilities and prepare for the worst of them, and expect the best. The process involves creating different outcomes and analyzing the probabilities of them occurring, and then creating a pathway or a course of action to achieve the best result.
My name is AINI, SOFIA, and I will continue about summary. In summary, The method and procedure of risk identification in construction project are essential components of effective risk management. This process involves systematically identifying potential risks that could impact project objective, timelines, cost, and quality. The method typically includes techniques such as brainstorming session, historical data analysis, expert interview, and industry-specific knowledge to identify a comprehensive range of risks. Meanwhile, the procedure outlines the step-by-step process for conducting risk identification, including project scoping, stakeholder analysis, risk workshop, documentation, and ongoing monitoring. By diligently implementing a robust method and procedure, construction organizations can anticipate challenges, allocate resources effectively, and implement mitigation strategies to minimize the impact of risk. This proactive approach fosters resilience, enhances decision making, and ultimately contributes to the successful delivery of construction project within budget and schedule constraints.